The G.I. Joe franchise gets their second attempt at beginning a franchise on the big screen with one of the most charming actors working in Hollywood today. So what can go wrong? Let's talk about it in my review for Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins. After saving the life to the heir apparent of the Arashikage Japanese clan, tenacious loner Snake Eyes is welcomed and is taught the ways of the ninja warrior. But when certain secrets from his past are revealed, Snake Eyes' allegiance and honor will be tested. Now before I start my review, I want to know what you think of Snake Eyes. Are you excited? Do you like the G.I. Joe franchise? If so, what is your favorite Joe? Throw it all in the comments below, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. First of all, welcome to the channel. If you're new, why don't you consider clicking the subscribe button? It does wonders to get the content out there, and you'll always be aware of whenever I upload more great content, and join the beautiful film fan community. Now, even though I didn't grow up with the G.I. Joe franchise because it was just a little bit before my time, I was always aware of them. I had the toys. I had those big packs that came with several of the characters, and I didn't care about any of them except one. I cared about the cool ninja dude dressed in all black, and that is Snake Eyes. He's always been the most, at least potentially interesting character in the G.I. Joe franchise, and the little bits that I've seen throughout the years, even though I didn't actually watch the show as a child. He was always the most interesting. He was always the coolest. He's a fucking ninja wearing a mask, and at the time when I was a kid, I thought he was blind, and that's why he had the little weird eye things. Which, again, even more impressive. And Henry Golding does a really good job in this. He's great playing this role. He's a great actor. Whatever the script gives him, and we'll get to the script, he's great at doing it. His charm elevates whatever he's doing. And Andrew Koji as well as Storm Shadow. They're awesome together. Whenever these two are together and whenever the film kind of does explore their relationship and the pressures of that relationship and whatever's going on there, it's very complicated, shenanigans ensue. Those are the best parts of the film, genuinely, because those are the parts of the film where you actually see some human emotion, some human interaction, some real people talking and interacting with one another. And there are some good sequences in the film. Some of the action is shot well, especially in the third act. I guess they kind of left the best for last. The film takes place mostly in Tokyo, Japan, in the castle, the grounds of a clan that celebrates the old costumes and traditions of the country. So it's an interesting setting, it's an interesting way of how things work. The cast is stacked. Iko Uwais is here, Peter Mansa is here. Like, that's fucking awesome. Please, Hollywood, cast more Peter Mansa in more of your films, please. There's an interesting mythology here. When the film does focus on how this clan works and Snake Eyes trying to get into this clan and his relationship with Storm Shadow, the film works at its best. That's when the film shines the most, when it's trying to be its own thing. But oh my god, this script sucks. This story sucks. It's the blandest way you can tell an origin story. It's a bland Batman Begins, and I even feel insulted calling it that. A bland Batman Begins would have been better than this. The dialogue is horrid from the very beginning of the film, and right in the second scene there's a line. I posted it on my Twitter. I'm going to put it right now up here on the screen for you to see. That is an actual line from a film that had 3 screenwriters credited, 2 of them working together. Take that as you will. And I will always worship at the altar of Queen Samara Weaving, but the G.I. Joe connections do not need to be here. They're forced, they're unnecessary, they play absolutely no part in the story. Take those references out, the story is exactly the same. The reveals and twists and turns that this film takes with its villains and what their actual plan was don't even make sense when you really think about it, all the way from beginning to the end of the film. And oh my god, the action. You hired Iko Uwais, the guy who led the Raid movies. You hired Andrew Koji, who is leading right now one of the best shows on TV with some of the best martial arts we've ever seen. Probably the best martial arts we've ever seen on TV. and you cut around them. The cinematography throughout most of the fights in this film, again, apart from the third act, is really awful. Lots of shaky cam, lots of cuts in those fight scenes, lots of close-ups, and you can't even tell what's going on. At least the worst fight of the film is the first one that happens, right at the beginning. The film begins with a flashback, and then we're brought into the present, and there we have a fight in which former WWE superstar Mojo Rawley makes a cameo for some reason. I'll understand if for some of you watching I may come across too harsh, but I've had enough with Hollywood cutting around corners when at this point there's no excuse. This is a big movie from a big studio with a big budget, and they actually took the step to hire actual people who can do action and martial arts on screen, and they still cut around them. It makes absolutely no sense. The biggest problem with this film, however, is not Henry Golding, but how they write his character. This dude is super charming, and Snake Eyes is an awesome character. The way he is written in this film makes it extremely hard to root for him. Throughout the entire film, he's a selfish prick who constantly worsens his situation and the situation for everyone around them throughout the entire film, when he constantly has a chance at making the right choice. He constantly has a chance at turning things around in his favor, in favor of the people he supposedly likes and supposedly he would like to be on their side. But no, he constantly makes the wrong choice. The film only happens because this dude is a goddamn moron. To the point where you find yourself rooting for Storm Shadow throughout most of the film, and when a certain post-credit scene comes around, you're like, yes, good for you, dude. The only reason Snake Eyes is not a quote-unquote unmitigated disaster is because there is some creativity here. There is some good here. It's bland at its worst, at its best. It's passable for you to watch on the background. It's not offensively made. It's not terribly shot. The actors do the best they can with this atrocious script they were given. The costumes are really good. There's some promise here if they continue with this franchise, but honestly, this hopefully is as bad as they get. I guess it's not the worst G.I. Joe movie, but it's not the best G.I. Joe movie. I'm giving Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins a D+. And so unfortunately, those are my thoughts on Snake Eyes, but I want to know what you think. I've already talked to a friend of mine who watched it at the same time as I did. We didn't watch it together, but he liked it, so I hope you do too. Let me know all your thoughts on there. Which Joe should have their own solo film? Throw it all down there in the comments below. Thank you so much once more for watching, and if you've watched this far but still haven't clicked the subscribe button, you enjoy the video on some level if you're still watching, so help the channel, help me out, join the beautiful film fan community we have here, and click that button because it's really pretty and it will look great and blend into the window you're using, the tab you're using when you click it. I'm doing this for way too long at this time, I'm a moron. Thank you so much once more, you are the best, I'll be back very soon, and so until the next one, love each other, and love the movies.